Welcome to YOLO Texas, and this is our team of traveling Texans. Ride shotgun with us as we visit breathtaking views.
I can't put into words how amazing this view is.
Check out heart-racing attractions. And taste mouth-watering foods that only this great state has to offer.
So can we dig in?
I'm like seriously the happiest person ever right now.
Why, you ask? Well, to simply put it, you only live once, Texas. Hey y'all, welcome to YOLO Texas, your go-to guide for all the places that put the great in the great state of Texas. I'm your host AC, and we're gonna have a fun one for you today. We're headed to Austin to check out a culinary hotspot that's redefining the neighborhood donut shop. Then we'll make a stop near Medina Lake for a bite to eat and a few cold ones. But first, I don't know about y'all, but here on the show, we gotta stay dedicated and motivated with early morning wake-up calls and late night editing, which requires more often than not lots of caffeine. So when the opportunity came up to visit one of Texas's premier coffee roasters, you know we were on board. So we sent YOLO Texas team member Ariel on the mission to see what the buzz was all about.
The Texas state capital is known for being a hotbed for live music, breweries, and of course barbecue. But since 1998, Cuvée coffee has been brewing up some of the best coffee around.
All right, so we've arrived at the roastery. It's really early and I haven't had any coffee yet to prepare myself for this experience. I can already smell what's cooking inside, so let's go check it out.
Inside, if you were expecting something like your local coffee shop, well, you're in for a surprise.
It smells amazing in here.
And to get a better understanding of Cuvée coffee, who better to speak to than the owner, Mike McKim.
The term cuvée is actually a champagne making term. At champagne houses, when there is a spot in the vineyard where the grapes are superior to everywhere else, they'll pick those grapes, they'll use the juice from the first press, and that's what they'll make their cuvée offering out of. So it's kind of like a super premium champagne.
So super premium coffee.
Super premium coffee,
All
yep.
right. I've never experienced coffee roasting or anything like that. So can you walk me through the process?
So the process of coffee roasting starts with the raw product, the coffee bean, right? And a coffee bean is basically a seed from a cherry that's grown on a coffee shrub or coffee tree. That coffee is processed, dried, and brought over to the US, and then once we get it in our roasting facility, that's where we put it into a coffee roasting machine and basically turn it from green to brown, right? So that's, in a nutshell, that's the roasting process.
So not only do you do, let's say, traditional coffee roasting, y'all also do cold brew.
Cold brew, yep. So there's two ways that people drink cold coffee. There's iced coffee, and then there's cold brew. Cold brew is very different. You don't use hot water during the process at all. And you basically steep the coffee with cold water for 12 to 24 hours.
So what makes it so unique here at Cuvée?
There's a couple things that we do that are different. One, we actually chill down all the processed water before the coffee and water come into contact. And then the other thing is we have really hung our hat on nitro, pumping nitrogen into the coffee and creating that creamy texture, that micro bubble that you get like from a Guinness beer. That's really where we've differentiated ourselves from everybody else.
So you said we could taste the cold brew?
Absolutely.
All right, you want to go do that?
Let's do it.
If you're thinking that this place looks like a brewery, well, you're not wrong. And I can tell you I was so excited to taste the brew for the very first time.
All right, perfect, enjoy.
All right. Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Don't
That's
sound
like
so
heaven.
surprised.
I don't know why I'm so surprised. It's so good.
It's just coffee and water. And then the nitrogen gives it this kind of creamy texture, mouthfeel.
It just feels so smooth. I think this is my new drink.
It does have twice the amount of caffeine as a
Perfect.
regular cup of coffee, so there's that.
That's fine with me.
Nitro Cold Brew is available throughout the state and country, and it tastes just as good as it did from the tap.
So I think one of the things that's kind of cool, and that's a point of differentiation for us, is we wanted to make sure that we could create a true nitro experience, and it really wasn't possible until the Ball Corporation released their widget cans. That little plastic thing you see in the bottom, that's what they call a widget. What happens is when we fill the can with the liquid, it's already saturated with nitrogen, so it has that nitrogenation effect. A dose of liquid nitrogen gets put into the can. Is once the lid is sealed, the can is inverted, and that liquid nitrogen boils off into gas, and that nitrogen gas fills the widget. What happens is when you open the top and create this pressure differential, the nitrogen releases from the widget and creates turbulence, and that really enhances the nitro effect.
Okay.
Right? So you ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah?
Next up, it was time to take part in the quality sampling of the daily roast in a time-honored tradition known as cupping.
Right now we're gonna do what we call in the industry a cupping, which
Okay.
is basically a way that we taste coffee here in the lab.
So it's not the cupping that made Michael Phelps famous, right? Or that he made famous.
A little different.
A little different, okay.
A little different, yes. Step one is we're gonna grab a glass and smell the dry aroma of the coffee. Next step is we'll steep the coffee in water, and then this will be the first step into us actually physically tasting the coffee. All right, so the next step is, you see how the coffee rose to the top?
Yes.
So we call that a crust,
Okay.
right? So there's a crust of coffee on the top. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna smell the wet aroma.
Okay.
So we'll take our spoon and we'll punch a hole in the crust, put our nose really close to the cup, and then like a poof of steam will come out when we break the crust.
Okay.
You're gonna inhale it into your nose. Now that we've taken the foam off the top of the coffee, what we're gonna do is take a little bit of coffee, put it on your spoon. We're gonna suck the coffee off of the spoon and try and get it to coat your entire palate all at once. Don't tilt your spoon or anything, and just I like the head movement.
It tastes
Yeah,
delicious.
I mean, you get into it.
Like,
There you go. Now we're getting somewhere.
got it.
But before we headed back to the studio, we stopped off at the Cuvée coffee bar.
So this is where you can get all that roasted goodness without slurping it off of a spoon. Plus there's a great selection of beer. Nice little place to hang out. Hi. How are you? I'm good. Okay, so I was told I have to try the horchata latte.
Yeah.
And I'm also kind of hungry, so what do you recommend?
We have a really good cinnamon bun. It's
Okay.
really good.
Perfect. Thank you so much to the folks at Cuvée Coffee for teaching us a thing or two about what goes into next level coffee. For now, I'm gonna enjoy my latte. I'll see y'all later.
Get matched with your perfect coffee by visiting CuvéeCoffee.com to learn more. Still more to come on YOLO Texas. Later, we let the good times roll at your local bar. Plus, we see what good things come in pink boxes. That's next. Hey y'all, welcome back to YOLO Texas. All right, so imagine it's 2 a.m. and you've had a long night out with your friends, and then you see it. It's a 24-hour donut shop that's serving up some of the most mouth-watering donuts you've ever tasted. Sound too good to be true? Well, up next, our resident Texpert and Texas Humor founder JB takes us on a delicious journey to one legendary establishment that takes the everyday donut to a whole new dimension.
Today I'm on Austin's world-famous 6th Street, where in college I spent a lot of time chasing down cheap beer. But this morning I'm looking for something you wouldn't expect to find in this area, breakfast. Only a few blocks from our beautiful state capital, you'd find the eclectic Voodoo Doughnut. Let's go.
Welcome to Voodoo Doughnut. Opened in Austin just 2 years ago, this Portland-based company has been making a name for itself for over a decade, delighting customers far and wide with its funky decor, friendly staff, and of course, its one-of-a-kind assortment of decadent donuts.
So we're here inside Voodoo Doughnut, and I am with Jester, and she is going to tell me a little bit about how you guys got started.
Cool. So we have two owners. So Trace owned this really famous venue called X-Ray Cafe, and Cat Daddy was like a wrestler announcer, and they were like two really good friends. And one day they were like, dude, there's no donut shops in downtown Portland. 3 years later, they found this little hole in the wall in Portland, and they started making donuts.
I don't think that it's a coincidence that y'all are located next to a bunch of bars on the busiest kind
Always.
of crazy street in the city of Austin. So y'all are open 24 hours, is that correct? And what's the most like popular type of donut at 2 o'clock in the morning when all the bars let the crazies out?
The Old Dirty Bastard.
Okay.
It's a chocolate donut with Oreos and peanut butter.
Okay.
And it's everyone's indulgence here.
So what goes into like the creative process in making these donuts? Is there?
Oh, I think it's just all of our crazy, unique minds that come together. Every month we have like a special, unique donut that, either the staff gets to, have an opinion in, or, we make these extravagant centerpieces. There's a lot of our own personal creativity that goes into it.
Yeah. I saw when I was walking through that you guys had a bunch of LP albums like over on the side. Is music an influence at all?
I would say that Voodoo is like really consumed in pop culture and music.
Yeah.
Like that is what we are.
Cool, so I heard you guys are hiring and might need some extra help in the kitchen. I'd love to try out my hand. These hands, I can't say have ever designed a donut before, but I'd like to give it a try.
All right, let's do it.
So can we head back there and do it?
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Next up, I headed to the kitchen for a quick lesson on making the perfect Voodoo donut. Let's just say I was no pro.
So tell me a little bit about how you guys approach the Voodoo doll donut.
So we have some rules.
Okay.
Rule 1, your Voodoo doll can never smile.
Okay.
Ever.
All right.
Because they're supposed to be sad, they're being stabbed.
Right.
2 colors, and a pretzel stick.
Okay, and the pretzel stick is the pen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So what do most people come in here asking to have put on a Voodoo doll?
You get a lot of sports teams, obviously, here in Texas.
All right.
And then for like Halloween, we turn them into skeletons and like goofy stuff like that. Sometimes you can turn it upside down and like put eyes right here and make a little alien.
Okay.
Girls in bikinis.
Okay.
You name it, you can kind of do it.
I'm not gonna put any hair because I'm gonna pretend that this person's balding.
So I'm just gonna do maybe a swirl on his belly.
Unfortunately, Voodoo donut making wasn't quite my forte.
Yeah, your technique is a little better than mine.
Cheers.
So, cheers. Can you walk me through some of the other selections that people can buy off the shelf? Like, what's this one right here?
So right there you have the Portland cream. You got your dirt. That's vanilla and Oreo.
What is this one?
Marshall Mathers.
The Marshall Mathers covered in M&Ms.
So right there you got your bacon maple bar. Old Dirty Bastard or ODB, whatever you want to call it.
What is this megaphone that we have here?
It's a blunt.
A blunt, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah, it's a blunt, or if for little kids' birthday parties, ice cream cones.
Don't think this is one you guys carry often. It seems like y'all may have made it for my visit today, which I'm pretty excited about. Okay, so can we dig in? I'm gonna go with this one. That's delicious.
Diabetic coma.
One giant sugar rush later, and it was time for me to choose my top 3 favorites.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm gonna call my top 3 are probably the ODB, the maple bacon, and I think it's a tie between my captain, and the blunt.
I love the blunt.
Yeah,
it's like
fantastic.
the perfect amount of donut, especially
Yeah.
all the sweetness going on.
Yeah, it's great for
That's
the
a winner.
donut eater on the run. Yeah, I really appreciate you having me out here. This is fantastic. I feel like I need to go run around Town Lake and burn off the 9,000 calories that I just ingested. But yeah, I really appreciate you having us through.
Yeah, anytime, come back.
Well, I tried over half a dozen delicious donuts. After all those calories, I think it's time for a run. Next time you're in Austin, though, come try out Voodoo Doughnut.
Want to check out Voodoo Doughnut for yourself? Visit the link below to learn more. Coming up, a local bar serving up good food and good times. That's next on YOLO Texas. Hey y'all, welcome back to the show. For our next YOLO Texas adventure, we got word that there's a little place down in Lake Hills, Texas that has perfected the Texan art of the bar and grill. So of course we had to check it out for ourselves. So come along with us as we make our way to 4-Way Bar and Grill. Welcome to Lake Hills, Texas. This Bandera County of about 5,000 people is well known to folks from the area as a great place to get out and hang out on the Medina Lake. So this is Lake Hills, Texas. Get it? Lake Hills, Lake Hills, Texas. Texas. The lake is a hotspot for recreational boaters and fishermen and is especially known for its well-stocked bass, carp, and trout. And it's all thanks to a marvel of 20th century engineering. And that's because Medina Lake isn't actually a natural lake. It's a reservoir created by this, the Medina Dam, or as I like to say, Medina Dam! The dam was constructed in 1913 and at the time was the largest concrete dam in the country and is now in the National Registry of Historic Places. But you know, we're not here to talk about going fishing and dams. Let's go find this bar. And down a few windy roads near the edge of town, you'll find a hard-to-miss sign that lets you know you've arrived. Yep, got a pretty good feeling about this place. Nice looking patio and a TV to watch the game. Oh yeah. From the outside, it has all the looks of a perfect small-town country bar, but inside there's games, dancing, and live music, and that authentic charm you just can't get in the city. Alrighty, so I'm here with Dave Jr., one of the many owners here at Four Way Bar and Grill. You work with your dad and your two other brothers. And how did it all get started?
We've been coming to this lake our whole life. About 2 years ago in 2016, we found the place was available. My uncle had been involved in the hospitality and bar industry his whole life. So we ended up getting the place and we've been rocking it ever since 2016.
Nice. So what all do you have in store in the kitchen?
We got a nice array of anything starting from salads, fresh fish, handheld sandwiches, all the way to a nice steak dinner plate, and of course our main seller is burgers.
Wonderful. All right, I know I'm about to get my hands dirty, maybe do a little food demo in the back, try out one of these burgers. So,
hey, that's what we're good at.
Awesome. Which one do you suggest?
Dirty Dave's Hangover Burger.
Perfect. All right, so Hippie is a one-man band here. He's gonna take us through on making one of the popular burgers.
Dirty Dave's Hangover Burger.
All right, what's all in it?
It's got a 1/3-pound patty, lettuce, tomato, onions, pickle spear on the side, bacon, 2 slices of cheese, and an over-easy egg on top.
Bacon and an egg. That's what I'm talking about. All right, first things first.
1/3-pound fresh patty, locally sourced.
Smells good already.
What kind of cheese would you like on your burger?
American?
You got American cheddar, Fontina, pepper jack, or Swiss?
Cheddar and pepper jack. Let's do it. Got mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato.
2 slices of tomato, some chopped onion. Get our eggs started.
Look at that. That looks yummy. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner right there. You gotta taste it. It's so good. Maybe you make one hell of a burger. This is delicious. And a French fry for the go. All right. There we go. Stay right there. More from Four Way Bar and Grill after the break. Hey y'all, welcome back to YOLO Texas. We are in Lake Hills, Texas, visiting our favorite local hotspot, Four Way Bar and Grill, where the menu is jam-packed with Texas-sized dinner plates and a burger list that'll make the trip just worth it on its own. All right, now that I've taken a look at the menu, and before I get my hands dirty and get a bite to eat, I think a beer's needed first. Hello.
How's it going, sweetheart? What can I get for you?
I would like a good old-fashioned Ziegenbach.
Just a Ziegen?
Ziegenbach, that's fine. Just a Ziegenbach. How's it going tonight?
It's going good.
All right, here you go. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers, y'all. The vibe is laid back, the folks are friendly, and they had a game with my name on it. All right, so now that I got my beer, naturally most people would play pool, those go hand in hand, but I'm pretty terrible at this game, so I see some arcade games that I have a better chance at winning at. But a cold beer and a round of pool are just the beginning of what makes Four Way Bar and Grill so special.
The atmosphere, it's kind of like home. All my friends are here about it, we're all having a good time, and the prices are great and the food is good. You can't complain about it,
It's my first time here, and so far, so good. The menu's great. I'm looking forward to my ribeye. I already got my drink, so I'm looking forward to a nice evening.
We pick a country road to drive down and go all over Texas, and today this is where we landed. And it's our lucky day because there's live music.
We're in Texas. Everything's big in Texas. So the food is great. They have the Big Mike Challenge, and as well as good beers and cheap.
If you want a cool little chill spot that's, you know, you can bring the kids out and you can have a good time whether you're an adult or not, it's a good place to come.
Exactly, yeah. Support your local bar around here. It's good.
And to truly test whether this place can lay claim to being a true Texas bar and grill is when the sun goes down, the music gets loud, and the dance floor fills up. And at the 4-Way Bar and Grill, they definitely delivered.
All right, I'm sold. I absolutely love this place. The food was great. The people, they're even better. So next time you're in Medina Lake, make sure to give 4-Way Bar and Grill, give it a shot. Tell Macy sent you. In the meantime, I'm gonna go back inside, have myself another cold one. See ya.
Want to check out their list of upcoming live events and a complete menu? Go to 4waybarandgrill.com for more information. Looking for even more great adventures around the Lone Star State? How about making your way out to the Denton Black Film Festival happening January 23rd through the 27th? Or, if you can handle the heat, head out to Zest Fest in Irving, Texas, also the weekend of the 25th. A fiery food experience for Texans who appreciate the hotter things in life. And if you happen to miss any previous episodes of YOLO Texas, not to worry, visit our website at YOLOTX.com for all past adventures and a list of channels to watch them. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Next week, we are getting into the football spirit and checking out places that are perfect for watching the big game on the big screen. Until then, remember, it's a big world, so get out and explore it. You know what they say, you only live once, Texas. We'll see you out there.